Hi everyone, hope you're all well. I thought it would be interesting to put some more process sketches together for this video, specifically with designing some more Fakemon. A few videos ago, I spoke about the Pokemon YouTuber Truegreen7 and that he had hosted a design challenge a few months ago that I entered. So he's hosted another one and I decided to try my hand at it too. The brief for this challenge was that he had already drawn the 3 starter Pokemon and then people had to design the 2 evolutions for them. I ended up only designing for the grass and fire starters, which got 22nd and 5th place respectively in their categories. So you can imagine that I'm pretty chuffed with that, considering the number of entries and the massively high standard of artists. It's so fun to enter these kinds of casual contests because it really forces me to stretch my thinking muscles to a degree that I wouldn't normally. Usually I just draw designs I think are cute or whatever comes off the top of my head. But with this, there's a predetermined base that I have to work from and make sense with. If you haven't seen the video with all of the amazing Fakemon art, I really recommend having a look. I'll put a link to it in the description if you're interested. Anyway, I kind of went into this without really thinking ahead very much. I just wanted the designs to seem natural and like a proper continuation of the starters that we were given. So with the fire starter Quick Kindle, I was really aware that the majority of submissions would most likely have very similar concepts because the design of the starter was so definite and strong. So I don't think you really could have thought very outside of the box. I mean, I suppose you could have, but like, anyway, so I went simple and possibly incredibly obvious, but my main goal was to design a Pokemon that I would love to have myself. And I feel like I did do that with both of the results I got. I loved them both a lot and yeah, I would definitely use them on my team if they existed. I first went through the ideas of an ostrich or then something a bit dodo-like, but I settled on a roadrunner and tried to keep everything really bright and streamlined. I did think this design was the weaker of the 2, but then it came in 5th place, so I guess I just really misjudged that. I'm a bit on the fence about the middle stage, Crassowary, but I do really love Frenzigo a lot. I did make a really half-hearted attempt at the water starter, but I don't know, I just don't gel with reptiles and lizards. I find it so hard to come up with stuff like that, so yeah, I gave up on that very quickly. With the grass evolution line, I was really happy with what I had come up with. The idea of this little sloth becoming this gross slob who doesn't do anything, and then evolving into an enlightened hippie type creature called Phislotophy that allows smaller grass type Pokemon to live in its vines. Since this one came in 22nd place, I asked what I could do to improve the design. So I've tried to implement what Truegreen suggested. So things like opening the eyes again so that they looked like the actual starter Pokemon's eyes, reducing the number of bunches of vines on top of the head, moving things like the flower next to the face. He said that the colour was maybe a bit too strong and distracted from the face. So yeah, there were a lot of little changes. A lot of them were more like at the the top end of the Pokemon. There wasn't really anything about the bottom end that I changed much, other than removing that like fig leaf pattern, which I also quite liked as well, but I also understand that it was just too much, too many different textures, too many different leaf shapes, so yeah, that changed as well. And I don't know if I'm 100% on it. I did really like the initial design, but I definitely can see that it's a lot more fluid now, though I do miss the idea of the leaves of the other little Pokemon poking out of the vines. But, you know, I guess from a design standpoint, it probably was a little messy and unnecessary, so I'm okay with making that change. But like, if I were to not be taking part in this contest at all and I had just come up with it myself, I would definitely have just left it with the little Pokemon leaves sticking out. I also couldn't remember what colours I used initially for the lighting effects, so it's not exactly the same as the first rendition, but whatever, you get the idea. So that's all. Let me know what you think of the designs, and if you prefer the before or after of Phislotophy. Thanks for watching, and talk to you in the next video. Bye!